Welcome to Badasses. I'm your host, Kai Armstrong. Today on Badasses, what if the masks we wear to fit in become the very things that trap us? Today, we uncover how Cindy Sherman's radical self-portraits challenged society's expectations, revealing a hidden struggle with identity that might just mirror your own. In a dimly lit studio in New York City, Cindy Sherman stands before a mirror. Her face is half transformed, one side bearing the glamorous makeup of a 1950s film star, the other stripped bare. The contrast is jarring, deliberate. In this moment of duality, she confronts the central question that has defined her revolutionary artistic journey. When you spend your life becoming other people, who are you really? You might think you know something about wearing masks. In this age of carefully curated social media personas, who doesn't? But Sherman's story runs deeper than mere performance. It's about the profound courage it takes to use artifice to expose truth, to don disguises that reveal rather than conceal. Her journey holds a mirror not just to herself, but to you, to all of us who struggle with authenticity in a world obsessed with image. Picture a young girl in suburban Long Island discovering an old trunk in her grandmother's attic. The musty scent of vintage clothing fills the air as she pulls out dress after dress. Each garment tells a story, suggests a character, promises transformation. This is where Cindy Sherman first learned the power of becoming someone else, not to hide, but to understand. You might recognize this impulse, the desire to try on different versions of yourself, to explore the boundaries of identity. But few have pushed this exploration to such profound depths. At Buffalo State College in the 1970s, Sherman struggled with traditional photography. Technical precision eluded her, the rules felt constraining. But what seemed like weakness became her strength. While others mastered f-stops and exposure times, she focused on something more elusive, the power of images to question reality itself. Her early experiments were raw, uncertain. She would dress up as different characters and photograph herself, not yet knowing these tentative steps would revolutionize contemporary art. The professors criticized her technical skills, missing entirely the radical nature of her vision. This is a familiar moment for anyone who's ever been told their unconventional approach was wrong, only to discover it was simply ahead of its time. The year is 1977. Sherman's tiny New York apartment is cluttered with wigs, costumes, and makeup. The walls are lined with mirrors. Here, in this cramped space, she begins her groundbreaking, untitled film stills series. Each photograph presents her as a different female character from imaginary 1950s and 60s films. But these aren't mere costume changes. They're penetrating investigations into how society views women, how media shapes identity, how we all perform versions of ourselves. The work demands everything from her. She is simultaneously photographer and subject, creator and creation. Each image requires meticulous preparation, the right costume, the perfect location, precise lighting. Hours of transformation to capture a single moment that feels both familiar and unsettling. You can feel the weight of this solitary pursuit, the intensity of an artist pushing herself to expose something essential about human nature. Success came swiftly. The Museum of Modern Art acquired the complete, untitled film stills series for $1 million in 1995. Critics hailed Sherman as a revolutionary voice in contemporary art, but with recognition came a peculiar kind of isolation. In becoming everyone, she sometimes felt like no one. The pressure to continue pushing boundaries, to maintain relevance in an ever-shifting art world, weighed heavily. This admission might strike a chord with you. How often do we question whether our success is genuine, whether we're truly worthy of recognition? Sherman's doubt, paradoxically, became another layer of her artistic truth. If you're enjoying Badasses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Mental Fortitude Challenge. Explode your confidence by channeling strategies from Roosevelt, Bruce Lee, and more. Now back to the episode. The 1980s and 90s brought new series, each more challenging than the last. Her Centerfold series subverted male-dominated media perspectives. The history portraits reimagined classical paintings with artificial prosthetics and obvious artifice. But as Sherman delved deeper into identity exploration, critics began to question her motives. Was she perpetuating the very stereotypes she sought to critique? At an art symposium in New York, the debate reached a crescendo. Sherman sat silently as scholars argued about the meaning of her work, about whether her transformations reinforced or challenged societal norms. The woman who had spent decades in front of the camera found herself wanting to disappear entirely. This is the moment when mastery meets doubt, when the artist questions everything that came before. Today, in an era of Instagram filters and digital avatars, Sherman's work feels more relevant than ever. Her explorations of identity and self-presentation predicted our current moment with uncanny accuracy. But while social media often aims to perfect and polish, Sherman's work deliberately exposes the constructedness of identity. The artifice is the point. In her most recent work, Sherman has embraced digital manipulation, proving that at 67, she remains as innovative as ever. Her images continue to challenge, to provoke, to question. They ask us to consider not just who we are, but who we pretend to be and why. Return now to that studio mirror, where Sherman stands contemplating her half-transformed face. After decades of becoming others, she has discovered something profound. Identity isn't fixed. It's fluid, multiple, constantly in flux. The search for an authentic self might be less important than the courage to embrace our many possible selves. This is your challenge. Consider how often you've limited yourself by clinging to a single, authentic version of who you are. Sherman's legacy suggests that true authenticity might lie in the willingness to explore all the faces we could wear, all the selves we could become, not as masks to hide behind, but as portals to understanding. The mirror reflects back not just one face, but infinite possibilities. In the end, Cindy Sherman's greatest work of art isn't any single photograph. It's the space she created for all of us to question who we are, who we pretend to be, and who we might become. The face beneath the mask isn't fixed. It's waiting to be discovered again and again. On the next episode of Badasses, Cindy Sherman showed us how identity is fluid, a performance, a reflection of societal expectations. But what happens when art isn't just about personal expression, but a direct challenge to power? Imagine a world where your art could land you in prison. Next time, we'll meet an artist whose work became a symbol of defiance against authoritarianism. His story is one of resilience, courage, and unwavering commitment to freedom of expression. He learned early on that even the smallest acts of protest can shake the foundations of oppression. You'll be left questioning the role of art in social change and the price some pay for speaking truth to power. Next week, We explore art as resistance and discover how artists use their creativity to fight for justice and challenge the status quo. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, the 7-Day Mental Fortitude Challenge. What if 7 days could make you bulletproof? Steal confidence strategies from warriors, rebels, and icons who turned panic into power. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/BA. Thanks for watching.